Hello students, my name is Archivist Nico, and welcome back to Critical Reroll. I hope you brought your journals and quills, because we're about to get started with episode 3. We start off with Bertrand and Imogen continuing their pursuit of Danis. They eventually arrive at the Weary Way Tavern, where Danis sits anxiously in one of the booths before running off once more when she notices Bertrand and Imogen. The pair are unable to find Danis again and decide to regroup with the others back at the warehouse. Once everyone was back together again, the party decided to go into the warehouse and search for evidence that connects Danis to the thefts. After some snooping, they find what appears to be some ledgers that had been tampered with in order to hide the missing warehouse stock. With the hard evidence in hand, they decide to find Danis at the Weary Way Tavern and confront them about it. And upon arriving at the tavern, one of the musicians of the establishment informs Dorian that they saw Danis disappear upstairs. The party follows this lead, and FCG is able to sense many individuals within one of the rooms. Orem puts his ear to the door and listens in. Danis seems to be nervously explaining the situation at the warehouse and how the party may be onto them. A sinister voice replies, saying that perhaps Danis isn't suited for this line of work, and that she may be putting them in danger. The voice says that they'll adjust the supply lines, and that they no longer need Danis' services. Orem tries to break into the room as he hears a gasp and a gurgling sound, and with the help of Ashton, they manage to kick the door down and enter the room. Inside, they see a sallow, pale dwarvish figure in a black cloak, lurking in the shadows. A fight breaks out with several small gray creatures called shade creepers joining the pale dwarf. The party was able to overcome the shade creepers. However, the pale dwarf managed to slip away with the use of magical darkness. Upon investigating the room, the party finds Danis' body, as well as a small hole in the wall that seems to tunnel down the spire. They decide to hold off on investigating further and bring Danis' body back to Lord Estros. The party explains everything that transpired and gives the evidence to Lord Estros, who expresses his gratitude for the party's aid. He then offers them an official contract. The party accepts with one additional request from Imogen. A letter of recommendation for the Starlight Conservatory, which Estros agrees to write. And with the job done and some coin in their pockets, the party decides to head to the Spire by Fire for an evening of celebration. Drinks are had, stories are shared, and Bertrand tells Dorian how special this group is, how they've all come together to accomplish something good. And as the evening progresses, Dorian notices Bertrand getting more and more drunk. Dorian offers to take Bertrand back to his room, but he declines, saying he wants to walk the city streets by himself for a while. Dorian reluctantly allows it, and then shuffles off to bed with the rest of the party. During the night, Imogen dreams of walking through the beautiful fields of her hometown, Galvan. And while this dream is happening, Bertrand wanders into a dark alley to relieve himself. And as he does so, a cloaked figure slowly approaches him. Bertrand draws his rapier in defiance to the figure's beckoning call. But with a flash of steel and speed, the figure stabs Bertrand twice, revealing himself to be the pale dwarf from before. As Bertrand gets stabbed, we shift back to Imogen's dream as it begins to turn into a nightmare. The sky turns into a swirling red lightning storm that surrounds her village. The voice of Imogen's mother calls out to her, urging her to run. Imogen begins to run as fast as she can towards her home, and as she reaches the door, she looks back and sees a familiar older gentleman walking straight into the heart of the storm. Coming back to the alley, Bertrand falls to the ground, fatally wounded. The dwarf looms over him and bids Bertrand a good night. Darkness fills Bertrand's vision as he calls out to his wife, Liev Tel. And with that, episode 3 comes to a close. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please let me know all of your thoughts and feelings in the comment section down below. And if you're looking to support the channel, the best thing you can do is subscribe and join our community Discord server. But if you're wanting to support me further, you can check out my Patreon page. Links to my Discord and Patreon are in the description down below. And so, with all that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to love each other, and I'll see you all in the next one. I would just like to take a second to give a huge shout out to all of my wonderful Patreon supporters. Thank you to my expositors, Leah, Olivia, Sean, Pseudonym, the DM's Den, and Hannah. Thank you to my archivists, Annika, Daniel, Elliot, Emerson, Melissa, Noel, and John. And thank you to all of my high curators, Adam, Caleb, IMI, Andrea, Dustin, Rin, and Sylvia. Thank you all so very much for showing your support. It truly does mean a lot to me. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next one.